Hello from Halong Bay, Vietnam. After 2 amazing days in Hanoi, Gokche and I are so excited to do the main thing we came here to Vietnam for, and that's get on a Halong Bay cruise. We woke up bright and early this morning and took a 3-hour van ride out from Hanoi to get here to the Halong Bay cruise terminal. This Essence Grand ship that we're gonna board actually needed to dock a bit further out. They took our bags on board, and in a little bit, we're gonna hop on board the boats ourselves and head over to the main cruise ship. We cannot wait to get on board and see what it's all about. And before we get to our cruise, a big thank you to Vietnam Escape Tours for helping set up this amazing experience for us. The crew welcomed us on board with a nice welcome drink and a hot towel, and then had us come up to the 5th floor for a delicious buffet lunch. There were so many different options to choose from, and they gave us a run of the ship, of course, as well. And now we're coming up onto our first activity. Honestly, we're on the fence. We had an action-packed 2 days in Hanoi. We're gonna probably make our way around the boat and just relax here on day 1 of our Halong Bay cruise.
This is one of the latest cruise ships that start sailing on Halong Bay, and we're so lucky because since it's a new cruise ship, everything is new and the interior design is amazing. We're gonna start with our bedroom. The room is super spacious and really nicely decorated. We have our own dedicated bathroom with all the nice amenities, and there's plenty of space and of course light coming in, because once you open your curtains, you're actually feeling like you're right outside, because the balcony from ceiling to the floor, it makes you feel like you're always on the water. And every single suite on this cruise seems to have a balcony, and the balconies are very nice too. I'm really excited to have our coffee tomorrow morning when we wake up.
Honestly, this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, cruise ship rooms I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is so much exceeded our expectations. Beautiful, huge, and also luxurious. Can't wait to explore more. There's so much to see here. But before that, we're gonna jump into the water because the weather is so nice.
The Essence Grand has a huge heated pool with a bar on the 2nd floor of the boat, and lucky for us, it's the same floor that our room was on. We were lucky enough to have it to ourselves so we can relax and take in the beautiful bay before most others had come back from a nearby excursion. Coming down here to the 1st floor and other floors of this entire cruise ship, there's so much to see, so much to do. Right now we're actually in the game room, and as the staff on this ship have loved to say, there's a PS5 here in the game room. On the 1st floor, there's also going to be a little children's room for parents. That's a very nice thing to have. And then finally, for those of us who are feeling much more proactive than Gokche and I are on a cruise, on this 1st floor, you also have the gym. And it's a pretty large sized gym for something on a cruise ship. Downstairs though, there's even a karaoke room. Unfortunately, that one you actually have to pay extra for. That's not included in the cruise ship price. But if you want to have fun after dinner and continue your festivities, then head downstairs to the basement for karaoke. Then 3rd and 4th floor, there's going to be more rooms besides the rooms that we were staying in on the 2nd floor. 5th floor, you get all the way up to the dining hall, and then 6th floor is one of the coolest spots on the ship. It's going to be their sky bar. It is going to give you a great expansive view of Halong Bay, especially as happy hour starts at 5:30 every day. Learned buy one get one drinks are a very good thing here on the ship, so something Gokche and I definitely won't be missing out on. There's so much to do on the ship, we almost forgot about the spa and sauna, as well as a poker room and even a wine and cigar room. They actually invited us into the captain's room here on the ship, being very careful not to touch anything that I shouldn't, because there's so many different buttons that we wouldn't know what to do with. But it's been incredible getting a little bit of the glimpse behind the scenes to see how the whole cruise ship works. After exploring the ship, we were able to enjoy a beautiful sunset from our balcony before heading upstairs to have a multi-course dinner for our first night on the cruise. We actually met an amazing family from Sydney during our first day, and they invited us after dinner to end the night by checking out one of the incredible suites on board with its own private deck and hot tub. Good morning and welcome to day 2 here on our cruise. It was an amazing night. We had a great rest. Popped up for a quick breakfast this morning, and now it is time for activities. We have 3 stops along the way today, and we're gonna head off onto a smaller boat. Essence Grand is slightly different. It's not a typical 2-day cruise. They mix 1 night and 2-night cruise passengers together. So the 2-night passengers are all gonna head off to this smaller boat and head off further into Halong Bay today. Really excited to see what's in store and just enjoy another beautiful day here in Halong Bay. Thank you. The day trip boat was a little less luxurious than the Essence Grand, and it reminded us of some of the boat tours that we took back in Turkey. Our first stop of the day was a little less adventurous, and we visited a pearl farm, which was cool to quickly see, but we were glad it was a short stop before heading off to our second destination. Let's go.
All right.
Right side, back side. Go forward, pull the water side by side.
Yep.
Hey there, just coasting, waiting for everybody else. And the water is kind of not as clean, unfortunately.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I wanted to swim, honestly. We'll see.
We'll see if we go to a nicer swimming place.
Oh my god, it looks so beautiful. Do you suggest this experience to our fellow travelers, Steve?
If you have a partner who paddles with you, maybe.
He's so right, I'm sorry.
The usual, just like in El Nido, doing all the work, so go take and enjoy.
I also don't want to move so much because these are not feeling super stable. We lost our group because, once you start kayaking, you don't know where water is gonna take you. But they said we have an hour to get back, so hopefully we'll get there in time. But everybody's doing have your own journey type of experience. We're gonna hopefully wind up at the same spot.
Just gonna be happy when we're back on the boat, eating lunch, probably drinking a beer. That's more my pace.
Okay, Steve is a little bit tired and has been struggling to have the control over this because the water is dragging you to the left and right and backwards, and it's a little bit challenging experience. There's a lot of traffic here. A lot of traffic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, no. Oh, God. They said that we might be able to swim, so we'll see about that because the water doesn't really seem extremely clean to me so far, but they might be taking us to a different bay for us to swim, so definitely looking forward to that. We did it, Joe.
Yeah.
Your fingers are hurting too?
Yeah, my fingers are hurting.
I don't know if I gotta swim. Thankfully, after kayaking, they provided a full multi-course lunch to refuel us ahead of our next stop. 3, 2, 1.
It's amazing! You guys are all missing out!
We were glad to get a swimming stop in, and being able to swim up to a remote beach in Halong Bay is a memory we soon won't be able to forget. But soon enough, it was time to head back to the Essence Grand and transition from daytime into the evening and enjoy our second multi-course dinner on board our cruise. And the food was all delicious. Good morning and welcome to the third day of our Halong Bay cruise. We're coming to the end of our time, so we just wanted to wrap things up by going through the pros and cons of doing a Halong Bay cruise in general, and specifically if you wanted to do a cruise like the Essence Grand. We want to start off by doing the cons first, and one of the things that keep in mind just from the start is very few drinks are included in the price. You just have water at dinner and coffee and tea at breakfast. Otherwise, every other drink you have to pay for, and that's just basic coffee and basic tea. So things like chamomile tea you have to pay extra for, as well as barista-made coffee, which they have available here on the Essence Grand, which is pretty nice. Just realize you're going to be paying extra for that and squaring away that at the end. And then kind of piggybacking off of that, the dining times, unlike an American cruise, are very set in stone here. So 7 o'clock rolls around, it's dinner time. If you miss dinner time, you're not gonna have a chance to going for a buffet later on at night like you would on an American cruise. So keep that in mind. Don't miss the dinner or breakfast times, and the breakfast times could be pretty early here in order to get you out for those activities. Another thing that we noticed that's a little bit of a con, probably for some, is that the Wi-Fi on board here on the Essence Grand hasn't been the greatest. It might not make a big deal for a lot of people looking to just disconnect and enjoy the beautiful scenes of Halong Bay, but if for some reason you needed Wi-Fi while you're here on board, it's something to keep in mind and prepare for. Finally, one thing specific about the Essence Grand and larger cruise ships here in Halong Bay, they don't really do so much cruising. They're sticking around close to the docks because specifically with the Essence Grand, it's more geared towards one-night cruises. They're just switching into doing two-night cruises, which worked out well for us because we were able to get on board. They set up a day boat to take us further into Halong Bay and explore more of these beautiful limestone cliffs. It was plenty enough for us, but for people who want more of a traditional cruise where their boat is going to go through the entirety of the bay, maybe you should be looking at other ships. However, we really enjoyed our time here on the Essence Grand, so it wasn't a huge con for us, and we wouldn't not recommend this boat and this cruise just based upon that.
And in terms of pros, what makes this cruise different than the European and American cruises is all the activities that you're doing throughout the day are included in the price. So when you're cruising in United States, of course you have to pay separately, but here you don't have to take your money with you. You're basically good to go for every single activity that they are providing, including the lunches when they take you out to the boat tours when you're having a day tour. And another good thing is these rooms are extremely spacious and beautiful and clean. This is probably one of the biggest rooms, including the hotels that we stayed, so it was really nice to experience it. And every single room comes with a really beautiful balcony as well. You can enjoy the beautiful scenery and of course go outside the balcony and have your morning coffee. It's such a beautiful setting and we really appreciate this room. Another pros is you can actually bring your own food and drinks on board. There's no strict rules on what you're bringing on board. So if you want to bring your beers, your alcohol, or additional snacks just in case you miss the dining times, you can actually do that. Because we were hoping to buy some beers from the water cellars as we saw in the previous YouTube videos. However, because of where we are located, we actually did not see any of those cellars, which was pretty disappointing. Thankfully, we came here prepared, so highly recommend the same for you. And lastly, of course, all the activities on this cruise was phenomenal and definitely so much better than we expected. There's a cigar room, there's a poker room, and of course, there's a giant swimming pool that I enjoyed very much so because the water was heated and I love warm water. So if you're coming on this cruise for any season and if you're thinking it's gonna be cold weather, don't worry because the water is heated and it's so nice. You can see the steam coming out of the water even. It might be too hot for some people, but I very much enjoy that.
Another positive side was the ease of booking our cruise. We worked with Vietnam Escape Tours while planning our Vietnam trip. They not only arranged our cruise, but also provided us with a shuttle from our hotel for the transfers. We highly recommend you to reach out to them if you're planning on cruising on Halong Bay or exploring Vietnam.
That's it for our time on this cruise. Unfortunately, we have to check out and get back to Hanoi soon. But before we leave, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up and stay tuned for more Vietnam videos.
Good morning and welcome to Ho Chi Minh City here in Vietnam, better known as Saigon. And we are gonna make our way around this beautiful, massive city in the best way that we know possible by doing a food tour. Bread's nice and crunchy on the outside, nice and soft on the inside, and all the ingredients are so fresh. I love it.
I'm gonna try this, but I'll tell you this, I'm not a huge fan of eggs actually in real life. This is a big step for me. My favorite thing and not much favorite thing is gonna go together for Vietnam.